top of the morning and happy October to you, y'all. You know, I was watching a Friday the 13th marathon with my teenage boys the other day, and I grew up terrified of Jason Voorhees with the hockey mask and the chainsaw chasing you through the woods. At the end of the movie, I discovered my boys are morbid. They go, well, look, it really ain't Jason's fault. How many no trespassing signs can a guy post up? You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't want people to be in his camp. And I was like, I never thought of it like that. This video is sponsored by Allegiance Gold. The best part I tell you all the time about gold and silver is it ain't political. So I know I did not work my whole life, and you didn't either, for your money to be worthless. So just go with Allegiance Gold. They're going to help you get that gold or silver into a IRA or 401k shipped straight to your front porch. So, you can trust the federal government all you want to secure the dollar and keep the value of it really high, which I don't advise whatsoever. Or you could have a backup plan. Gold is security, y'all, and it's freedom. Go to protectwithbuddy.com. $5,000 in free metals with qualifying purchases, and the link is going to be below. Check them out. And in case you hadn't heard, because you've been living under a rock, we have federal agents with ICE up in Chicago Stan, as I like to call it, get surrounded and blockaded by civilian vehicles yesterday. And so they did what any ICE agents would do. They say, hey, we got backup here with the Chicago PD. Let's call the Chicago PD. We need backup immediately. They got guns. They might fire on us. They might kill us. Our lives are literally in danger. At this point, we're outnumbered. It's getting out of hands. Hey, Chicago PD. And they get them on the phone, and the mayor of Chicago and the police chief of Chicago give them the stand down order. Just let that sink in for just a second. Forget cowardice. This is treason. I haven't seen the line drawn like this in the sand this clear since the spring of 1861. We have a DEI mayor in Chicago up there who hasn't done anything his entire life. He's willing to let federal agents die before he breaks stride with his left-wing extremist friends. And look, even the National Police Department or the National Police Union, they issued this big, long statement over here. This is wild because if you look at police unions across the entire USA, they are usually very, very liberal, and they donate to liberal causes. They don't call out cowardice like this, and that's exactly what they did. And they said, this is not who we are. This is not what your oath said that you're supposed to uphold. And they went on and on and on. I think that's a beautiful thing. But let's put the shoe on the other foot here. This is like a woman marrying a man who's supposed to protect her, okay? And she walks outside her house one day, she goes and gets the mail, and there's a random guy walking through the neighborhood who grabs her, starts beating her up and abusing her. The husband runs out to protect the wife. She's, screaming for him, and the guy abusing the woman tells the husband to stand down. I get to just beat on this girl right here, and you just need to stand down. And the husband listens to it. That's the gravity of what I'm trying to say. He lets her get abused, and that carries out the biggest betrayal ever. This is a direct criminal violation for the mayor and the police chief to not respond to a life-threatening situation. And the mayor and the police chief themselves, these two men should have been drug out in their boxer shorts at 4 a.m. this morning and cuffed by the feds. It is exactly what our grandpa's generation would have done and accomplished. You know it, and I know it too. It's the way they would have done things. It's our duty to disobey unlawful and immoral stuff in the military. Why is it not the same for law enforcement? I mean, how big of cowards are you up there in the Chicago PD? I'm just curious. If the police unions are calling you out, who are usually incredibly liberal, I just wonder how big of cowards you really are. So Chicago now, literally, you are in an abusive relationship with your own people. Because, if you're willing to turn on your own Chicago citizens, then we have no choice at this point than we, the people, to be your enemy. Look, I realize there's bad cops out there, and I've always believed my whole life that there's good ones out there, the ones that you really need. The idea of some good police where you call them, they will respond. They will be there to answer your call. And whether it's in your desperate hour or somebody else's desperate hour. In my case, it'd be somebody else's desperate hour because out where I live, let's just face it, I am 911. But look, Pride Month was invented for guys who are working up there at the Chicago PD, for guys just like that. And don't you dare say, well, we were just obeying orders. The mayor told us to stand down. We were just following orders. So was the Gestapo. So remember, Chicago did not vote for Trump. Obviously, it's a very blue territory. So why should Trump even why should he even care? He's being way nicer than I ever would be to save you. Because I would just say to the liberals, look, you wanted this diversity. You wanted this crime. So now you get to walk into your streets and you never get to feel safe and you never get to feel good. And you can just enjoy all the diversity and the crime that you voted for. As far as the Chicago PD, you should be ashamed of yourselves. The mayor and the police chief should be in cuffs. And I just got to ask you, you told to stand down. You're men, ain't you? I guess not.